this, I like to say Brakte Hawa, Brakte Oshai, Brakte Hawa, Brakte Oshai, Brakte Hawa, Brakte Oshai. All praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakodash. Double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that we rule well.
Okay.
Peace and a blessed salutations unto the Akim that preach this gospel to the four corners of the earth, truth and in sincerity. Right? This is Brother Iwadash.
Kan Manatazak.
We're going into this lesson here. Basically, uh, Luke chapter 12, verse 56, that going into discerning the times, right? Because the Lord gave signs, to know the times, to know specifically the end time, right? Through the prophecies of the scriptures and through the signs that the Lord gave, you know basically the season that we're in, which the biggest sign would be the mark of the beast, right? So I'll go to the Luke here.
It is like Luke 12:56.
Yeah, Luke 12:56. Chapter 12, verse 56. It says, "Ye hypocrites, ye can discern the face of the sky and of the earth," right? Because as a carnal man, you could naturally tell the weather. You understand? You could tell what if the rain going and fall, if sun going and shine through the times or the seasons, right? He say verse he say but how is it that ye cannot discern this time? He said this time, right, which is the end time. How it is you can discern this time, right? Which in order to discern this time, you have to be what? In the scriptures. You have to be active in the prophecies, watching. As scripture say that he made thee a watchman. In order for you to know the time, you have to be watching, right?
And Kan also tells us to be occupied in the prophecies.
Can. Right? So you say what to be occupied in prophecy. So that is how you know the what time or what season that you're in.
You
Right?
know it by the signs, because the prophecies does tell the time that we're in. And the prophecy of the falling away, the prophecy of the diaspora, prophecy of, prophecy of the falling of this kingdom. We'll see what's going on in the world today with like the economic standings of the so-called superpowers, or the so-called, the so-called superpowers being Russia, America, China, the big nations, the main names. Watch what's going on with America economy and the allies of America economies. Watch our economy, because we are allies with America. Everybody's saying the same thing. All our economists currently saying the same thing, that Trinidad is spiraling downward. Our dollar is spiraling downward. They're saying on paper, we dollar is like 7-1. So in the system, it's 7-1, but in reality, it's more like 19-1 because of inflation, right? So all these things, as your brother say, being a watchman, you see these things, you discern what time that we in, you know that this is the last, this is the latter days then, the end times.
The end times, right? So you go to Matthew chapter 24 and verse 1, this is when the disciple went unto the Lord and asked him what is the sign of his coming, right? Verse 3, so that, right? You say,
They gonna read it from one, or is the same It's just a prelude, but to go straight to the point, you can start from verse
Yeah,
3 out.
go straight to the point. It say,
Yeah,
Matthew 24, verse 3, and as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these signs be, and what shall be the sign of thy coming, and of the end of the world? Right? And that world doesn't go into the I believe it's cosmos. Is going to that
cosmos is
world.
the ornament of the stars. That is for God so loved the world. That is cosmos. The world is cosmos, but we could get it.
This
We could get
yeah.
it out. We could get it out.
I
It's
believe
Matthew
this world.
24 and 3, right?
Yeah, this world was going into this rulership. Was to be concerning this rulership. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a period of time, age outside of biblical usage. One of the meanings is the age now. So the period of
Yeah.
time or the era. The Strong's definition, it says from the same as G104, properly, and age by extension, perpetuity also past. By implication, the world, especially Jewish, a messianic period, present or future age, course, eternal, forevermore, beginning of the while the world, it's without, basically it's the age or the era or the time,
And
right?
which I believe they say the lifespan of a kingdom is
50
250
years,
years,
yeah.
right? So I have there's an article that I had a screenshot, right? It says White House officials are weighing a plan for President Trump to issue 250 pardons as a way to mark the celebration of the nation's 250th birthday this summer, right? According to people familiar with the matter, right? So we could see here that this age or this world, this rulership, this kingdom has reached its time, right? When we see the fall of this kingdom, right? So that so the world in Matthew 24 and verse 3 was going into the time period of the rulership of this kingdom, right? So it says verse 4, and Yahushua answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am Hamashiach, and shall deceive many, right? Which going into the Antichrist, right? Verse 6, say, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars, which is something that we see in plenty in this present time. I believe now more than history. It have more rumors and more wars taking place because the scripture talk about there will be no other time like this time. So right now that the signs and certain things are taking place, it at an all-time high. Right? Say see that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. Right? So basically this would be anyhow, let me go down in it, right? He said, for nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquake in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrows. So we see that what we done in Jacob trouble already, right? That the signs that the Lord give at the end times is done taking place, right? So nation rising against nation, kingdom against kingdom. We have famines, we have pestilence, just was this week here, yeah, Venezuela had two earthquakes,
Can
right? And some was somewhere else.
it had four earthquake in one day. Japan, two in Venezuela, and one in and one was in Japan. I do have a video on it too. I
Right?
forget what the next one was in China. Yeah, go ahead, but yeah, it have it. The earthquakes there, you know what I mean? As you wanna say, the signs prevalent, right? And for you not to see it or for you not to know what I mean, you know what I mean? You're either blinded or a false prophet, and a false prophet is already blinded. So yeah, it is blind. But go check.
Yeah. Yes. That's all. He said, verse 8, he said, all these are the beginning of sorrows. Right? He said, then they shall deliver you up to be afflicted, right? Which before that time come, it will have what, the famine of the wood, right?
Mm.
He say, and shall kill you, and ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. Verse 10, he said, then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another. And many false prophets shall arise and deceive many. Right? What we see in that it have that men like Vocab Malone, um,
UIC, people who say
IUIC,
the mark of the beast is embargo or is some of that bullshit. Once they're not saying that is the chip, that's a false prophet. People who saying after Yahushua returns, Esau Edom go come back into power after 1,000 years, that is bullshit. That is a false prophet as well. All of that is heresies because these things are 90 precepts. It's the scripture says, I believe it's in Revelation 22, it says, blessed are them that keep these words, because these words are faithful and true. That's roughly paraphrasing it. Forgive me if I'm mistaken. You know what I mean? Because what? These words are faithful and true, meaning the words of the scripture. It's faithful, one, and two, it is true. Right? Scripture also say what? If they speak not according to this word in the book of Isaiah, there is no light in them, and that's how we know the false prophets. People who teaching people wrong. You know? Even here, what I say, he that teach the little, he that offend the little ones. It's better for him to tie a millstone around his neck and jump in the ocean. You know what I mean? Because teaching a man the wrong thing, that is offending him.
can like when a stumbling block,
Can.
right? So he say, he say, and many prophets shall rise and deceive many, and because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold, right? Which we see, and you know that we see that a crime and all these other things, it's on an all-time high. You're seeing the morals of people out the window. You know, people just don't care again, right? Everybody seeking their own interest, right? So you say, and because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. But he that endureth to the end, the same shall be saved, right? You say, Second Ezra, chapter 9 and verse 1. Right? Because the scripture talk about what discerning the times, right? So he said, this is second Ezra 9 and verse 1. He said, he answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made, right? And all these things happening, you see chariot sightings, wars, rumors of wars, pestilence, uprising of people, the uproars, the earthquakes. You're seeing all these things
God, I think it's
happening.
a protest right now somewhere as well. They're protesting against someone in them predominantly Edomite countries. I think it's like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's Germany or something. Somewhere,
Germany's now.
it's Beirut. Beirut or Beirut, however it's pronounced it. I don't know, I was always corresponding with Germany for but maybe because it's Belgium, I just be
Yeah,
thinking about when I see it, you know? But I think it's one of them, they don't speak English,
yeah.
but is basically Edomite, is more predominant now. Yeah, that approach, but because that's something the government do again. You know what I mean? Proverbs 29:2. When the wicked and unruly people mourn. You know what I mean? So we see in the demon, but even Esau Edom crying out against Esau Edom.
Yeah, the low level Edomites.
Yeah, that to tell you how the how's it played right? I to tell you the destitute state of this kingdom. Even the kinfolk of them that in charge saying, hey, all you on shit by. All you doing shit by. You know what I mean? Look, they just strike in Iran when this morning. It's this morning or last night?
Last night. I
Last
believe it was
night.
last night.
Yeah, the strike here last night. After, is that last night or yesterday evening?
Yesterday
After they signed the memorandum of understanding. One nation does do that. You know what I mean? In Psalms it say, in good, again, that's not particular. I'm not gonna appreciate. I think it's Psalms 55. Psalms 55. One second, I'm gonna check that phone. I'll go switch it. All right. Psalms 55. Verse 6. No, it's not Psalms 55. It's Psalms 1 something.
Psalm 55 and verse 21.
21.
Yeah.
I can.
So,
You know what I'm talking about then. Go ahead. Yeah.
This is Psalm 55, I'll go from verse 20.
Yeah, I can.
You say, he had put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him. He had broken his covenant.
Yeah, because why he making covenants with these nations? The memorandum of understanding. It's signed as a covenant. Is an agreement. A covenant is an agreement between two or more parties. So you enter into a covenant with the Strait of with Iran Salakia. Right? And then Israel, which is his ally, you know what I mean, the small atters, they decide to attack Lebanon and Iran, because Lebanon is an ally of Iran. They say, hey, only can't we doing we like this, we ally this, we just, you know what I mean? We just sign a, I thought we was on good terms, bro. I thought we were sharing box lunch and packages, so we're on our vibes. You know what I mean? And just like it's saying in it's Jeremiah 49:50, what? The least of the flock shall draw them out. Now look at what's going on. And I've been saying this in previous videos as well. Regardless of whatever they sign, they will always aid, either directly or indirectly, they will always aid the small actors in whatever comments they're doing, because it is written that they would. You know what I mean? They have to, because they really control America. You know what I mean? And look what happened. They say, oh, they want to close back the strait, close it back. Boom. And now they just enter a covenant with them. Go on.
Even with NATO, because right now America, they want to attack
NATO
their
nations.
allies. You understand? They want to attack NATO nations also, right? Even when you watch like with the humanitarian laws, you know, you saw break every law that was possibly written.
Yeah, that they created, they make the law. You know what I mean?
They agree to.
Yeah, can.
So you say, verse 20, he said he had put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him.
Mm-hmm.
He had broken his covenant.
Mm-hmm.
The word of his mouth was smoother than butter,
Right.
but war was in his heart.
Mm-hmm.
His words were softer than oil, yet they were drawn swords.
Yeah. Well, the scripture say war in your heart, but you would smoother than butter. Yeah, itching is, he will scratch your ears for you. You know what I mean? But he goes slit your throat. But he goes scratch your ears, don't worry yourself. You know what I mean? If your ears itching, he will, how you feel, all you still at, how you feel the beast had the world at all. You know what I mean? Scripture say what? You will wander after the beast, you feel it's just so. You know what I mean? Word smoother than whatever war in your heart. Yeah, take this for this emek because yeah, let it go back to normal. This that the other. After the majority of the world take it don't work so good. You gotta go back for some more. Come to find out now, hey, even if you take it, you could still get it, you know. So what was the point? Now all of us and people dying in masses. Nothing, not the events of people just collapsing and dying wasn't few and far between. It was rampant. It was rampant. Let me be real. It was rampant. It was, okay, one person fall down and dropped down in Egypt. One person in London fall down and, you know what I mean, had an adverse reaction to the juice. There's multiple people, news reporters, people giving speeches, politicians, athletes on the field, mid-game, that's boop. You know what I mean? Other people testifying, hey, my brother, my sister, my cousin, my auntie, my uncle, this one, everybody has somebody who take it and get adverse affected. You know what I mean? But yet still the average common man will still believe, hey, what, the government have we best interests at heart, but them for we, boy, we put them there, they have to serve we. We the people, yeah, really, all of these sheep, yes? Good on. So I care for that, yes.
Scripture talk about the trust in Egypt,
Gone.
and these were 2/3 of Jake fall because they put the trust in everything else but the Lord.
Gone.
Right? So you say here, verse 2, 2nd Ezra 9 and verse 2, he said, Then shall thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, which for the past, they say 5 years or 5 to 10 years, you see upscaling and uproars, around the world. Nation marching against the leaders, the government.
Good.
The atrocities that they committing, or the heavy burden that they're putting the citizens on now.
Gone.
Right? He say verse 4, he said, Then shall thou understand that the most I speak of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning, right? Which going back to the Matthew 24, the disciple asked, Lord, where will be the signs of thy coming, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he's telling you here now that say look for these things, the uproars, the pestilence, um, the moon turning. I believe is
The signs in the sky. Signs in the sky.
yeah.
All these things we go. Hear what you say. You say look for it. You see me. You say to tell you. He tell you measure. You are to measure the time diligently in itself. You know what I mean? You are to get up and do the measurement. Don't feel like a slide down and a voice go past in the breeze and yeah, they did. Yeah, they realize it. No. You'll end up like an average Joe. You know what I mean? Yeah, as the brother said earlier, you have to be a watchman. We set up to be watchman. You have to watch. We are watchman does work in a watchtower. The operative word being watch. You know what I mean? In other words, a seer. You know what I mean? That is what it means. You go on?
Yeah, I have a neighbor, right? I have a neighbor. She does mostly be inside. And at a certain time, she'll come outside and she'll see like people walking in the road and she'll call me. She's like, Jake, who's these people in the road? And I was telling she, I said, hey, you're inside too much. You understand that generation trend growing up
And getting big and
big
you and him know that you
and you yourself know.
Yeah.
So a day she was asking me like, she said, where you going to do? I said, well, I'm going and, take a little read and watch a little news, see what taking place around the world. And she was like, that is all you going to do? That has be depressing, watching to see that happening here and war taking place here. And She said that nothing that basically is fun,
Enjoyable, yeah.
enjoyable. She said that will only put you in a depressing state. Right? And the first thing come to mind is what? Arise, because there's no rest. There's no place to a comfort, you know? There's not the time to be asleep, I should say, as she is. You know, where you don't know what, you don't yourself know what's going on around you, much less for what's going on in the world. And she's a bank supervisor,
Mm. She
so
even
you
know
know.
just now she just
So
gonna be obsolete.
no,
They
well
gonna
I
have no bank again.
no well to she comfort, how to put it. How you gonna say it by the she comfort is she is the way how she living that way.
Mm.
You understand? So when I get take away, that is when she go want
She
to,
convenient,
yeah, she
yeah.
convenience. That is when she go want to
Take heed or pay
take heed.
attention and want to. She when she go want to know where what going on. You know, and as they say, go be the person to them. The state of the world go be the person to them because they don't know the Lord. You know what I mean? They don't know what the prophecies is. They don't know, we are rejoicing this time because I just all them things saying is that hey, the Lord closer to be in here, boy. This kingdom closer to end. You know? Go ahead.
And the scripture say that they say that the prophets are old. Um, say the prophets are old, but I be just roughly paraphrasing, that I be glad to see it in this time, and that would I be in the flesh that it was in before, because we know the prophets back here today,
Come.
right? So it say verse 5, for like as all that is made in the world had a beginning and an end, and the end is made manifest, right? Say the end is made manifest through what the signs of the times, right? Um,
Mm-hmm.
say
Good
Ephesians,
manifest. That's not go down.
wrong in it.
Yeah. The many next verse.
Say even so, the times also of the highest
Mm-hmm.
have plain beginnings and wonder in powerful works and ending in effects and signs,
Yeah, we see the signs of the time, huh?
right?
So we know this is the end because the end is the effect. Right? So the same way there was pushing and rushing and making it mandatory that people take the juice to live, to go to work, to enter into certain places, to have some form of convenience or comfort. Hey, you had to take this. And what was the effect after that? What was the effect of it? Death. You know what I mean? The same thing with the Lord. What you see now is the effects of what went on years ago. We not hearkening unto the Lord. You know what I mean? Deuteronomy 28, 16 to 68. That is why we had to go through this now. You know? But he coming back because why this time frame, the sentence we serving is almost up. You know? Go ahead.
Yeah, I lost my chain and thought.
It's like
Oh, I was going to say that we see the judgment that the Lord playing out, because
God.
Esau Edom is they are the Lord's sword right now.
Mm-hmm.
They are set to pour the judgment upon the earth,
Mm-hmm.
right? So we see the judgment that the Lord is being made manifest, right? So he say, verse 7, say, and everyone that shall be saved shall be able to escape by his works and by faith whereby ye have believed, right?
That's why he say blessed are them that keep these words because they are faithful and true. So you go once you believe you will work. If you don't work, it's because you really and truly don't believe, no matter how much you say. If you're not doing the work of the Lord, it's because you don't believe. Because if you don't believe, you don't, hey, I have to do the work because that way my salvation lies. That is how I go increase spiritually by doing the work. You see me, how you feel is get paid, not by going to work. How you feel is see results in the gym or from dieting by why? By actually dieting, by actually going in the gym, by actually working, putting in the work. You know what I mean? By actually putting in the work, now you see the results. So you can't expect to say, yeah, I believe, boy, and just don't do the works, don't do no videos, and then fucking rock back. Because at the end of the day, you will die. You know, he was just listening to a video from Elder Apostle, and he said the same thing. He said, you will die. Most I will kill you. You know what I mean? You will not be defended. You know?
Yeah, right.
That's not okay. Yeah. Alright, you good.
Ephesians chapter 5 and verse 14.
Mm-hmm.
Say, wherefore he said, awake thou that sleepest, and arise from the dead. Right? And that he said, arise thou that sleepest. That sleepest is slumber state. Right? Being in a docile state of mind.
Can.
Right? He said, arise from the dead, and Hamashiach shall give thee light. You know, which is the light, it goes back to the word, the understanding of the scriptures.
Can.
Right? He said, verse 15, see then that ye walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise. Right? Going back to what the brother said just now, you know, you have to do the works, whether it be going out on the streets, doing the videos, you know, so that you will be defended from the, or protected from the said perils to come.
Yeah,
So,
can. Isaiah, it's like Isaiah 33 and 6. You know what I mean? What? Knowledge and wisdom will be what? The stability of the times. You know what I mean? And what the times we live in. Where would we be without this knowledge and this wisdom, mate? So you had to put in that work. Correct.
say verse 16, redeeming the time because the days are evil.
Evil. Can.
Say verse 17, say, wherefore be ye not unwise, but understanding what the will of the Lord is. Right?
Can.
That the final precept there.
Alright, so, you know what I mean? We was edifying to the Akia. We hope it's back food for thought to the Akia watching and listening to the spirit and power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Gwakadash. Till next time, Shalom.
Shalom.